It's poppin' peeps, T-Money here to do a Wednesday edition of Body Bags. I think it's week 160 now, and next week I think is a themed week, so it's Spanish films, but this week was just a film of our choice. So the film that I chose is from 2006 called Halloween Night, and I apologize if this has been reviewed before. It very well could have. I think Moods had done a review either on his channel or talked about it or something. That's how I originally heard of it. But this film was released on October 24th, 2006, straight to DVD from the Asylum Entertainment. And so, right off the bat, you kind of know what you're getting into there. But it's directed by Mark Atkins, and I actually took crazy notes, so I'll be referring to them. It's directed by Mark Atkins, who I think he's known for directing various other horror films, including The Awaken and Haunting of Winchester House. And also the TV film Sand Sharks. So I haven't seen actually any of those films. So I think they're all kind of like B movies, though, low budget horror, indie horror, kind of that sort of thing. So it was written by Fangoria's Michael Gingold, who's a writer, I guess, for Fangoria, and it stars Derek Osadak, Rebecca Cochin, who was the star of When a Killer Calls. I just read that somewhere, so I actually haven't seen that movie, but it said that she turned in a good performance for that movie. So. Also Scott Ivory, Sean Duru, and a bunch of other no-name actors. So, and so basically the film follows a character named Chris Vale, who was accused of killing his parents at the age of 12. And then he's sent to a mental institution where he spends 10 years, becomes deformed. I think the backstory is that when he was... There's a lot of backstory in this, which is good because it gives you a lot of information about the characters we're talking about. But I think he was burned by steam or something, and that's how he got disfigured. But he's disfigured. In the beginning, when they show a clip of him as a kid, you can tell that he was not disfigured. But he becomes disfigured from steam in a shower or something somewhere along the line. I think when he was in the mental institution, but. So after 10 years, at the age of 22, he escapes from the mental institution by killing a couple of the guards and breaks free. And like many other movies of this type, the first place he heads is back home to his childhood home where the murders of his parents took place. And coincidentally, he arrives to find that the house is now owned by a character named a kid named David Baxter, who, and his family obviously, who is having a Halloween party. The film takes place on Halloween night, so he happens to be hosting a Halloween party at his house. I don't know where his parents are in the film. I don't think they make an appearance, so they're away, I think. And from there, he just goes on a killing spree, basically, and starts slashing all the teens at the party to pieces. Not literally, but yeah, kind of. And he pretty much destroys everyone at the party except for one character, Rebecca. I think her name was, what's her name? The actress is Rebecca Cochin, but her name in the movie I think is Shannon. And the backstory behind that is that David's girlfriend, Shannon wore a necklace that David found when he first moved into the house. David's the kid who owns the house. And he found this necklace, which turned out to be the killer. Sorry, the killer's name is what? It belonged to the killer's mother, Chris Vale or whatever. Val belonged to his mother. So he sees that she's wearing the necklace, takes her hostage rather than kills her. I don't know what he's thinking, but so yeah. And then basically. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Stalk and slash from there on out. Just goes on a killing spree. Oh, and when he gets, I don't know why he's disfigured, so I guess he could have just showed up to the party looking like himself, and that would have passed. But since they all seem to be buddies and, friends at the party, they play the story by, in the beginning, two kids are driving to go to David's party, and that's where they run into the killer, Chris Valley, at a gas station. He kills one of them. He kills the kid, and then he puts on his costume. So the whole time that he's at the party, slashing and killing everybody, he's dressed as this kid who they all know. So, you see that in the film. That's kind of his excuse for being there and how he gets away with it for so long, I guess, before they find out who he really is, a disfigured murderer. But anyway, so the good I said in the film, I just go into the good and the bad and the reviews. Kind of a different way from the usual. Sorry I'm referring a lot to this notes, but that's what I did. So I wrote the good, cool atmosphere, very run-of-the-mill, but it's exactly what I wanted going in. You know, I didn't expect more or less from it, really. And I love Halloween settings, the costumes. I'm sorry, I love the Halloween setting of the film. You know, I love that in general in slasher movies, but the costumes were good. The whole October feel to the film was good. I really liked the killer's makeup. I thought they did a good job. He didn't really look like a burn victim. He looked more like a monster or a zombie, a disfigured, mutated thing, rather than a deformed person. But I don't care. I don't get technical. I like Freddy. You know, I don't think whatever. Not going there. But yeah. So I really enjoyed his makeup. I thought he was really creepy. On the back of the film here, you can kind of see. Kind of get a look. He looks like Leatherface on the back there, but kind of. But he's just creepy looking. I thought the makeup effects were good in that sense. Yeah, I just liked the way he looked. And let's see. I said I like the disfigured look to the killer. The killer's look is very important to me in films in general. So, yes, I'm repeating myself, but it is. You know, if the killer's cool and masked or deformed or something, looks creepy, I'm down. That's like one of my main judgments or whatever that I go when I go into a slasher film. I want a cool killer. I want a killer that looks badass and creepy and scary or whatever. So he fit the part. Or I enjoyed it. He definitely was cool enough for me. I said the special effects were decent enough. There is some brutality going on, and there's definitely some gore. A lot of, like, you know, neck stabbings and stomach, you know, intestines getting ripped out, and cool stuff. I mean, so it was pretty good, the effects. It's a lot of, like, flashy, kind of like as it's happening, everything happens fast, so you don't get, like, real up close and real, like, you know, thorough gore shots or whatever, but it's cool. I mean, it worked for me. I thought the effects were decent enough, so. There's also a hot lesbian scene in it, so if you want, you know, your typical, hot chicks and titties shown, you know, it delivers on all that. So the lesbian scene, the girls are hot, so look out for that. And then I said the bad. It's very generic. Like I said, I don't really mind that it's generic. I like these type films, so like I said, it gave me exactly what I expected from it. But the acting was very average. Dialogue was kind of cheesy. You know, it didn't really deliver, or it wasn't anything amazing. But again, it is what it is. I thought the ending was weak, kind of typical. I don't want to spoil the film for you, so I won't talk about it. But it wasn't very good, I didn't think. And I said I didn't like the actor who played the killer. Like I said, I liked the way he looked, but I feel like his movements were kind of didn't really fit the part. Like, he played the part. I mean, and he was only 22, I guess, technically, but he played the character, like, kind of reminded me of, like, the killers in Scream, like, very sloppy movements, you know, running around chasing the kids and stuff. It was just, like, he played it like the kids in Scream. That's the best way I can describe it from Scream 1, the two killers, how they, like, their movements. It was very similar to his, except he was, like, this deformed creep. And so I kind of, I don't know, maybe, like, more of, like, a lurking, slower Jason-type feel. Something a little more creepy, maybe. I don't really know how to describe it, but his movements, I guess, just didn't really fit the image of the character. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I just said his movements didn't match the creepiness of the costume design. So whatever that means, take it for what it is. And I felt like I said I already said that. So all right. I also thought the film was clearly very, very much influenced by Halloween. You've got the kid who. Well, the murder that takes place in the house and then returning back to the house so many years later and then just, you know, wreaking havoc and going on a murder spree. So very similar in that sense. Similar to Friday the 13th as well, in the sense that the killer falls for the girl because she's wearing the necklace from his mother. So it kind of reminded me of, like, Ginny. You know, how she's, like, wearing the sweater and the Mrs. Voorhees' head at the end of the movie, so Jason is kind of tricked into thinking. It was kind of like that portrayal. So very, I mean, obviously, Halloween Night, it's a slasher film called Halloween Night. with a killer with a different name, Chris Valley, instead of Michael Myers. So it's very influenced by that, and I think it's pretty self-aware. So, you know, I don't think they were trying to go for anything really new or groundbreaking here. So, that being said, take it for what it is. It's very influenced by that. And so I just say, yeah, nothing new here. But like I said, if you like slasher films that have a Halloween feel, take place on Halloween, and you like deformed killers, then you should like it. I think it delivers. And I said overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, just because it's a Halloween-themed slasher, and I'm a total sucker for these. And I said it also has, and I said it has a high rewatch value for me. It's a film for some reason that I just pop in all the time, kind of like when I feel like half paying attention and just conking out or whatever, nodding out. So I throw it in often. I really do. I go for this film for some reason often. Something about it. It's fun, I guess. And doesn't require a lot of thinking. So yeah, that is this is the unrated director's cut. You can get this on Amazon for pretty cheap. I think maybe like 10, 12 bucks total. And yeah, it's only released on DVD. So yeah, it says in 1982, Christopher Vale was sent away after his family was brutally murdered. 10 years later, on Halloween night, he returned. So guys, that's my review of Halloween Night. Thanks for watching. Catch you next Wednesday for a Spanish-themed horror film. I haven't picked mine yet, so we'll catch you then. Alright, stay tuned. Peace out. Body Bags loves you.